Becky Burke.
Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke. Everybody get in here. Last second stuff here. Arizona women's basketball has hired their coach, Becky Burke. Shearer, we were talking about this on the phone. I like this hire.
Yeah. We were talking about this and how it kind of took a change today, but she was the one that kept coming up today. And it's a really nice hire considering the twists and turns that the coaching search took. I like this hire quite a bit.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. And all the people that were saying, "Oh, well, Adia Barnes, nobody's going to really go for this." Like I said, I like this hire. She's young, and I almost said she's young and athletic. She's young and energetic. That's a big part of all of this year. Is that again? It's not the easiest job in the world, so you're going to have to be able to do this.
She's young. She's 35 years old, so we're older than her,
right.
Which makes me feel even older.
Right.
Married, young kid, like clearly a lot of motivation to get this job done. She's been in the West a little bit early on in her career. This is the type of hire that you need. Like, and one thing we were talking about, Mike, that I don't think we focused on is when you look at Desiree's women basketball hires, they've been good. Like she's the one that hired.
You said that yesterday.
She hired the coach at Missouri, who now I believe is at Wisconsin. And so overall, like she's made good hires. She knows what she's doing. This is a nice grab.
This is a really good grab. And yes, Mike Luke doesn't look a day over 27. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
He's 42 years old, guys.
I'm not 42 years old, but yes, not that far off. All right, now we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. I tried going on to a Spaces. Ant Wright called me out and then decided he didn't want to let me on. Which is probably one of the weakest things I've ever seen, but it is what it is. I mean, when you pull the numbers he does, it's going to be what it is. But Sheer, let's keep on this, and then we're going to talk a little bit of Arizona men's recruiting. But again, this is people that are, listen, DRF is a proud person at the end of the day. DRF is not just going to pull in she's not just going to crash out on a hire for absolutely no reason. Yes. And
you're so Gen Z.
No, I thought that, but that was kind of where it is. By the way, back the array, we had 940 today, much better than
and here's the thing too, and I'm not going to name names and all that, but there's multiple people were like, oh, DRF has no idea what she's doing and blah blah blah, and she's terrible and no one wants the job. And then those same people are like, oh, this is actually a pretty good hire. Like, this is a fine hire for Arizona. They didn't have to break the bank. She's a good coach. I'm going to be blunt. There's multiple people in Buffalo, multiple players that still have eligibility. If they're good enough, she's going to bring them. There's a couple coaching decisions she's going to have to make, but she knows ball. Like, that's the thing. Like, she knows ball. And one thing, I was watching videos and reading articles on her this morning, Mike, and there's one thing that she won the WNIT, which Buffalo just has no business doing. And she gets on the mic and she said, 3 years ago, I told you guys that we would turn around this program. And we turned around this program based on the culture that we built. And I think that's key right there is Arizona needed a culture change. And if you don't realize that, we can go into that. That would be a whole nother show.
And where I'm kind of at with this too is that Adia Barnes did a lot of really good things. Now, one thing that I'm not going to understand is if people are bashing DRF and saying that she has no interest in this, and now you're all in. I mean, at some point you have to basically stay steady with this. DRF has a lot of DRF's got a lot of credibility here. She's not going to just hire somebody that's just going to completely tank the program. Now, might there be a little bit of a good call, Cody. Might there be a little bit more of a how do I put this? There might be some more issues in play here, but at the end of the day, I think it's a good hire, Shira. I really do.
Yeah, look, it's to me, it's you needed a cleansing, right? Like that's just the best way to put it. You needed a cleansing. You needed a change. She is known from what I've heard and people I've talked to as a good offensive coach.
Right.
A pretty balanced team, a high tempo. Believe it or not, Mike, Torvik has
my guy Torvik.
Your guy Torvik has women's basketball.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they were, you know, were they outstanding last season? No, but they were good enough. And again, Buffalo, it's not easy to do what they did. And so overall, you know, it's a good hire. Like it's, you know, and it's hard to judge when you take a mid-major coach and you put him in the big leagues. It's hard to judge what they're going to do with talent. But you would make an easy assumption that she's going to get more talent at Arizona than she did Buffalo, right? So, you know, give her a shot. She's young, she's enthusiastic. And here's the thing when you hire young coaches too. If it goes badly, her career
it's over really. Yeah.
Right. That's what happens with young coaches, right? And so it's a jump for her. And I always laugh when people goes, "Oh, dude, like she needs to win." There's no person that wants to win at Arizona more than her. There is a ton of pressure. She could have stayed at Buffalo for the rest of her life. Right. But clearly she saw something in Arizona to make her want to leave. It's similar to Brent Brennan, right? And I know Brent Brennan didn't.
I was going to say, careful here.
What I'm saying is Brent could have stayed at San Jose State for the rest of his life, right?
Right.
And he chose to take the risk at Arizona, and whatever happens. But the one thing about Brent that you'll agree on is the guy wants to win badly, right?
Right.
Whether you think he
does want to win. Well, yeah, he does want to win. There's no doubt about that.
She, no doubt about it, wants to win badly. And
all right, and you've got a Phoenix connection here as well. So, I mean, that's something also we need to talk about.
Dude, she started I'm telling you, like, people are going to love her. So she has multiple stories. Number one, and this is out in the open, Google it. Her and her wife, pregnant, IVF, huge ordeal, really cool story. They're going to talk about that. She started the basketball program at Embry-Riddle and Prescott and then won within 2 years.
Right.
Like she started the entire program. She has a couple players on. She coached at Fullerton, I believe. She has a player on her roster that just entered the portal yesterday that went to school in Phoenix. Like there are, and one of her coaches or her associate head coach just got the Northern Illinois job today, I think.
Right.
And so she's going to have to hire an assistant coach. I assume that she's going to hire a coach with West Coast ties because all her coaches are East Coast, but they're all young. Like her coaching staff is super young. They're enthusiastic. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. And again, you needed a breath of fresh air. The other thing about it too, is that when you go through the process that they've gone through, Adia, like I said, she did a lot of really good stuff. Yeah, we will get her on the show, no doubt. Adia did a lot of really good stuff, but Adia's time was kind of over. I'll put it to you like this. And again, I don't mean this in a negative light, because I mean, she was a really good hire. She put butts in the seats, more than Anaya butts. Get it? Hey, yeah, that was really, really duh, Cody.
Yeah, but Cody, that's one of the dumbest questions.
Yeah, that's really stupid. But but everybody was just kind of done. Sometimes you just need a changing of the guard, so to speak. And I think that's what you're going to get here. And the other thing too that we need to be honest about is no, they're not going to get $15 million or whatever people want in $15 million or whatever people want in, for baseline revenue and all that. But there's going to be, it'll be all right. I'm like I said, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's very, and here's the thing why also I just found out, Michael Lev told me this. The reason why this may have gone a day longer than expected, Desiree's not even in Arizona. There's a conference going on, the Autonomous 4 conference. She's in Washington, D.C.
Right.
So she's had to do this search basically from the completely not even in the state. Right. And so that it's so I like it. It's now it's gonna get crazy, Mike. We have Brent Brennan, Becky Burke, and her kid's name is Banks Burke.
A great name, yes.
Banks is a great name, by the way.
Yeah, I like the name Banks. Banks is a great name. But that's kind of where I'm at though with this. All right, now the other thing I need to talk about too is that people keep saying, well, it's not going to be as good. They're not going to be as good as in previous years. Arizona didn't make the tournament last year, so like when you're on the Facebook group and talking about how you got to start from ground. I mean, we're not. Arizona didn't make the tournament last year.
Were you reading my post on the Facebook group just now?
Trust me, I love that Facebook page.
So a woman goes, I don't think this is the right coach to compete in the Big 12. And I go, well, Dia didn't compete in the Big 12 either. So I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't understand that part at all, and why there was such a
Burns has it too. Braden Burries, Becky Burke, Banks Burke. What else we got?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so it's pretty cool stuff. Now, as far as the roster being maintained, I mean, kind of is what it is. As far as recruiting goes in this, with recruiting, they're going to go with they're going to prioritize men's basketball and football more. And I hate to say that, but it's just the way it is, Sheer. It's not like she's going to be paid pennies, but it's also not going to be something where it's just going to be super easy for her either.
Yeah, and here's the thing too that I think people need to realize: no, women's basketball is not getting a big revenue share. They're doing the Texas Tech model. Texas Tech is giving the same money to their women's, but that's not to stop boosters from donating money.
Right.
This is revenue sharing. There's nothing to say that Becky Burke won't come here. A booster would go like, man, I'm impressed as hell. Here's $700,000.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not saying that, but that could happen. Whereas opposed to, I'll be blunt, Adia dried up a lot of those funds.
Right.
That's why she lost money. No one's talking about that. Why did those funds dry up? It was never university money. It was booster money.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way that it is. I mean, it just is. Now, Adia also, we need to talk about this too. Adia, I know this from a previous AD. Adia spent a lot of money that she didn't really have, and I don't.
She didn't have it at all.
Didn't really have it. So that's the other thing too that I don't understand about why people are getting so upset by this, because she spent money she didn't have. I mean, Adia Barnes was taken very well care of during her. Oh my gosh, her middle name is L. Becky L. Burke.
No, stop. Is this true? Hold on. I'm going to look this up. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but I
do believe. I absolutely believe that. Yeah.
How do I find out?
I don't know. Just Google her full name. Just say Becky
L. Burke, Buffalo.
No, just put in Becky Lauren Burke.
I'm really nervous.
This is really, dude.
It's not coming up. It's not coming up. How do we know that her name?
I think it is. I am going to. LOL just made it up. Oh, you
son of a gun!
You son of a.
Get this dude out of here!
Yeah, you got us excited there for us.
Oh God!
Yeah, the previous AD. Kilroy says the previous AD, like I'm being like coy or something there about who that could. But again, Adia was taken care of. And
she got everything. She made $1 million as a women's coach at Arizona.
She didn't bring in. She just didn't bring in what she was. Top 10 results. It is what it is, man. I don't know what else to say. Now going forward in the Big 12, I don't know why Arizona can't be competitive. Again, I don't expect to win national championships, but I don't understand why Arizona can't be competitive.
Yeah, why can't they be competitive?
Hey, watch your mouth about Dave. Watch your mouth about Dave. No, we would be very, very, very.
Look, I love Dave, but we can both agree that finances and Dave just not the best fit.
Yeah, but hey, we talked.
No. I get your argument, and I'm going to let you make your argument. I'm just saying, go ahead, you make your argument because I agree with it.
Dave was told this, and I know if people don't like Dave, I don't care. Dave was told this. That these sports need to be competitive by any means necessary. Nobody is going to tell their boss, oh, well, boss, you don't want me to do this, or that, do you? He was given essentially a blank check, and that's what he did. And Dave at the end did listen, football had one of its best seasons ever. Basketball won the conference. Baseball won the conference. I mean, he left Arizona, and things were pretty good in his last year.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Dave's argument, and it's one that a lot of ADs would use, is I am paid to put forth winning programs. Right. And Arizona sports had successful programs. And so, look, do I think he should have signed Adia to that much? No, but he did it the year that Adia made a national championship. So it's like.
But also Robbins, yes. But here's the other thing where I get it, T-Burns 826. Robbins also is essentially telling him to spend what you have to spend. This is basically what happened. Keep Jed Fish happy. Keep Adia Barnes happy. And again, maybe Dave should have been more circumspect. I'm not going to sit here and say that he shouldn't have, but at the same time, I also don't know a lot of people that are going to tell their bosses, hey, screw you. We're not going to do this on yours.
And I think Dave was brought in for a different reason than DRF. Dave was brought in after Greg Byrne, which didn't end well. And you had a lot of on the field, off the field issues. With Dave, you didn't have any of that really. Right. DRF was clearly brought in for financial reasons.
Right.
Her job with Will Wheeler, who's her money guy, who's great at what he does. I've heard great things. clean up this athletic department financially. And from what I understand, and again, I'm not blaming Dave, but whatever. I get Dave's philosophy.
I get it.
The books were insane.
The books
right?
were awful. The books were awful across the board in the,
right.
the university.
Like she looked at like football at Jed Fish, and I have a pretty good source of this. It said, "Holy crap, you have got to be kidding me."
Yeah, and I think
the money that he was allowed to spend.
And I think that's what DRF kind of came around to when she was probably, and let's be honest, you're looking at a Diaz salary of making $1.2 million. And I hate saying this, but at the end of the day, we're going to keep talking about it. Women's basketball, it's difficult to invest in something heavy that you're going to lose money in. You know, when South Carolina loses $5 million, whatever the case may be, it is what it is here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and again, like it is what it is. And that's how it's going to be. Now, if she fixes the books, right, there's not to say that she won't go back to spending money. It's just that right now in the situation that it's in, you got to kind of figure out the whole vibe, right?
Right, exactly. And that's, you know, okay, now let's talk a little bit about then about the recruiting and the revenue sharing. Because again, she's not going to have a ton to work with. That is fair. She's not going to, so she's going to have to be resourceful. But if you do look at her background, she was resourceful.
You know, Mike, we kind of joke a little bit about culture. I mean, we don't joke, but sorry, we've talked about culture. There are so many mentions of culture in this. We just got the press release. Yes. I would like to think, this is Burke, Wildcat fans understand the role that elite culture plays in building a program. Our staff will be ready to make that a reality. Desiree goes, our model centered around head coaches with prioritized success in coaching, recruiting, and development of high character athletes. And then talked about culture as well.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it. There was going to be a huge culture talk in all of this. That was going to be a part. That was going to be a part of this. Is that here at the end of the day, you want to get along with people, and that it, you know, if you win, it's fine. You can get along, but if you don't win, then that draws very tired.
I got my TV on, Mike, and I know this is off topic, but Luka's playing in Dallas right now.
Oh gosh.
And they did a pregame video, and dude is just sitting on the bench crying.
Yeah, well, that Nico Harrelson is
like openly crying on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, also, let's talk about DRF though in a second. But for anybody that saw, I'm going to say it real quick. This Ant Wright guy, he's been going at me now for a month, and he keeps trying to get. Listen, he has spaces where 90 people show up. I get all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, he's been taking shots at me. I didn't even respond to the first one or two. And then I'm like, okay, dude, this is getting annoying. So he says at the last minute today, he says, hey, go on, come on this spaces with me. And even Sheer was like, don't do that. That's dumb. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And it probably was dumb. It's going to be 90 against 1. And guess what he doesn't do? He doesn't let me on the show. And then he says afterward, and then as soon as I'm off, then he said, this is great. Then he says, then he starts going after me. And then he says afterwards that it was a Twitter glitch. No, dude, I was there for 10 minutes. No, dude, like.
Here's the thing, and you know, I think you're a goofy guy sometimes.
I am a goofy guy.
But and this is the last I'm going to talk about it, unless this dip keeps coming, right? We were 3 hours before Arizona's game. Half the people up there were just eating and drinking soda and talking. Right. No one was doing anything. We weren't courtside. They have no idea that you were chanting Ben One White. Yeah, he's got no clue.
Right.
Like, it was just a complete innocent video that I thought was funny, that you thought was funny. This guy's making it out like you murdered someone.
And I love, too, the other thing. We were the one that put that out there, dude. You think he's making it out like I tried to hide this or something? Or it's like, no, dude, I put it out there. So anyways, it was probably the weakest thing I've ever seen. Me going on a Spaces, him not letting me on, and then him blaming a glitch at the end. Dude, whatever, bro. Anyways, so now back to Arizona women's basketball. How much time then is and his YouTube video gets like 100 views. I mean, he sucks. So let me ask you this. What's the barometer for winning here for the new coach? What do you need to look at?
Well, I mean, I don't want to compare the Buffalo program, but I will. I don't really care.
Bobby Hurley came from there, so we got something.
Yes. Oh, I wonder if they know each other. So Becky Burke, when she got to Buffalo, they went 12-16 in her first year. And by last year, her third year, they went 30-7. I think 3 years is fair.
Right. I think 3 years is fair. I think 3 years is fair. That's yeah, I'm not gonna have a hard time with 3
I mean,
years.
look, at the end of the day, Mike, TCU, Baylor, I don't know off the top of my head, West Virginia, these women's, like TCU's budget for women's basketball, that's just what they're invested in. Their oil money, their boosters, whatever that. Arizona's not going to win the Big 12 anytime soon. They just don't have the funds.
Right. And now let's talk a little bit about, I want to say something. I want to give DRF some kudos because, again, there were some things early on that I wasn't huge about DRF with. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, is that she's clearly smart. DRF is no dummy. Now, you could say maybe she's difficult to get along with, whatever the case may be. DRF is no dummy. DRF had people come. DRF basically needed to know that Arizona men's basketball is a priority here at the U of A. And much to her credit, I think that she realized that and she's prioritized it as such. That's called a smart business decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out Whit, by the way, my guy Whit in here.
What's great? Did I ever tell you my grandma's best friend growing up? His name was Whit Whitaker.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Say what you want about DRF, and we've heard people say some negative stuff. But the one thing we have not heard anyone say is that she is stupid.
No, she's not stupid.
Like, she ain't stupid. People she may clash personality wise with people and all that. Hey, it happens to everyone. I don't even want to get into it, but she ain't stupid.
No,
even
she's not.
People that dislike her think she's smart. She knows what she's doing.
And I also think too that she knows. I also think, listen, if you are an athletic director, and I'll say this, and this probably is to Dave's detriment, most athletic directors are survivors in that they know when they need to get out of a place. They know what they need to do. She knew that Missouri probably wasn't going to, that wasn't going to be a good spot for her going forward. So what does she do? She looks for the next spot out. Here, she plays hardball with Tommy Lloyd for a little bit and realizes that probably not great to play hardball with Tommy Lloyd. And she learns it. And I give her the ultimate respect for that because especially as an athletic director, you've got to have an idea of what's going on. And that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I'm proving some haters wrong on Twitter right now.
Oh, by the way, this is going to be really fun to put this on the Arizona Women's Facebook.
Well, you know, like how the women the other day in the spaces and all that were like, there's nowhere to donate for women's basketball.
Yes.
For women's basketball. Well, DRF just sent out an email and you click on the link and it literally says make a gift towards only women's basketball.
Yeah.
And it ain't a new page. Like, we got to just stop. Like, here's the thing. Adia's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of these people that are like, you need to be gung-ho, whatever. But Adia is gone. So the people that are like, oh, I'm going to follow SMU, you're not an Arizona fan.
Right. If you are literally going to switch allegiances to SMU because of Adia, then you're not an Arizona fan. And I think there's a good percentage of people on that board that are not Arizona fans. And the other thing too that I'll never get is the whole with Adia. All of them have a story about how their puppy was like stumbling or something, and she came up and said, "Oh, that's a cute puppy you have," or something. That's cool. That's cool that you're doing all that stuff. But at the end of the day, that doesn't. You've got to be easy to be around, and she's not. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, they're going to need a new Facebook page. That would be a really good one to have a new Facebook page. Adia Barnes Survivors Group.
One of my friends' groups, I can't say the name of it, is a.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that guy was no good from day one. You did.
Man, that could be a multiple chapters in a book.
Yeah, and people need to give this new coach a chance. On top of that, too, why are people also who were bashing DRF literally like 18 hours ago? Why are you now in on DRF and this hire when this hire was going to be one of the two people? I don't get that.
I love it. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's horrible. That's what they sound like to me. It's stupid. She was this morning. I texted you and I said, I said, I heard the George Mason coach is out. And you said, who's left? And I said, Burke. Burke's the only one I've heard that's left. And then like an hour later, she was named head coach. Good. Yeah. Good hire.
Nathan Gates, I will be at the games next season. I will be at the games supporting our women's basketball program.
I will absolutely be. I went to 3 women's basketball games as a fan with Bree. you have my word. I will go to considerably more. I will cover some, and I will bring Bree to some.
And we have been talking about this more and more. To give you an idea, generally when Sheer and I are talking before the show, we've talked women's basketball off air pretty much every single day. This is
true. It's weird.
Even in our group chat where there's a couple people that are strong anti-women's basketball players. But guess what? They ignore us because we are going all in on this year. We're all in.
I'm all in, baby. I'm all in. I'll be. My guess is the presser is Friday. I'll be there.
We're in it to win it. Yes. Oh, the presser is Friday. Oh, that'd be very.
I guess that'd be my guess.
Yes. No, that would be a lot of fun. Okay. Now, wanted to talk a few things about what hardball did she play with Lloyd. I don't really need it. We don't need to really get into it. It's not really worth it. But either way, it just you know what I'm going to put it. You know what I'm going to remind. You know what a little bit of. It reminds me when Greg Byrne took over and he didn't understand that Sean Miller and Arizona basketball needed to be the priority. So here's how
I know the story. Yeah, go ahead.
That's how the story goes. So Sean Miller pretends that he's going to take the Maryland job and uses some internet guys.
He went there. He interviewed and all that, and we reported he interviewed.
But he used some internet guys.
I'm sure he used us a little bit.
Yeah, not you. I didn't say you. You outed yourself.
Yeah, I got what I wanted. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, either way. And Greg Byrne, I think, very quickly realized that, oh man, this is the SEC. I better really focus on Arizona men's basketball. And I think much of it is kind of like DRF as well. And I don't know the DRF. I know she says she's an alum and I know she was here for a year. I get all that. But unless you're immersed in it, unless you've been entrenched in it, you don't know how much basketball means here. So, you know,
a lot of places it's football. It's just a different.
I get it.
Two news items. Dallin Hall, your boy Dallin Hall.
Yeah, where's he going?
Virginia.
Oh, okay. That's
to Virginia. And breaking news: Duke Brennan will be visiting Stanford.
Oh, that's a good fit.
That's a good fit.
That's a good fit, man. That's a good fit. I was talking. Oh, that's a really, really good one. That's unfortunate. Must probably get the glove. Yeah, that's a really good fit. All right, so we like this hire. I like DRF and how she went about this. I also like that DRF is prioritizing what needs to be prioritized. I know that that'll upset some people, but it just is what it is at the end of the day. But do we know how much she's getting paid?
No, but I would assume like six.
Okay. There. I think that's fine. I mean, let's be honest here. $1.2 million for a coach that's barely getting you into the tournament. And I love Dave, but $1.2 million for a coach barely getting you into the tournament the last 3 years and being a pain, not worth it.
And also, there's people that are like, "Well, why didn't Desiree just fire her?" Because the way the contract was written, they would have had to pay her $1.3 million.
Yeah, guess what she said? Somebody come get it.
And you know what? SMU paid Arizona $300,000.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, chess, not checkers here. She was brought in to balance the books, not ruin the books.
Yeah, I mean, I think Buffalo coach just signed an extension. Burke did, so they had to buy her out. But I think it was only like $1 million.
Yeah, for sure. The okay, now the RJ Luis is not coming here, El Boom. He is not coming here. I don't know what else to say. He is not coming here, with all due respect. Arizona, like I said, I think and I'll know more tomorrow, but I think Arizona wants this roster to kind of be, now again, you're going to probably move and mix and match a couple things, but you want this roster to kind of be the way that it is with, you know, maybe a nice little retention or two. How about that?
Yeah. I think you need to add a guard. Now the dead period ends, so for all we know, there's going to be, and I don't know this, I'm just saying there could be a guard on campus this weekend. I have no idea.
All right, I was thinking this off the top of my head, so I'm getting some names, and I'm just thinking this off the top of my head. 2026 people to keep an eye on. I've been getting this a lot. Alozi, Cam Holmes. Is the St. Mary's kid 2026?
Cameron Williams, Cam Holmes, Christian Collins.
Yeah, in-state kids. There's
Alozi.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Nifty Cello. He says, I don't think Tommy is a Mikey Williams guy. I may be wrong. Yes, I would agree that he's not a hey,
we are though.
When we talk about culture, is that somebody that fits in the culture?
Hey man, maybe he's what's it called? Rejuvenating what's it called?
Right.
Rejuvenated.
Rehabilitated.
Maybe he's really rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated, something like that. Yeah, Lil Iggy. I don't know anything about what's going on with Lil Iggy. I don't know.
I think that one's a fluid.
I think that's very fluid.
Like, is he going to get other offers? Like, what happens if he does? It's weird. It's a weird situation.
Gilbert Arenas brought you're saying Gilbert Arenas brought a firearm into the locker room. Guess what? Gilbert Arenas, oh, come on. Look at Joseph here asking twit questions.
What's the question? I got this.
All right. He says, Gilbert brought a gun in. We wanted his son here. Well, first of all, his son didn't do it.
Son didn't bring him the gun.
Second of all, wasn't, in the pros. Second of all, wasn't Mikey Williams like charged with doing something?
He didn't go to jail. And if you don't go to jail, you're innocent.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why I'm innocent of all charges.
Yes.
But we don't want him. Plus, he averaged 5 points a game. Also,
that's the biggest thing. He's just not very good.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Also, are you going to be out in the Arizona baseball game?
No.
Saturday.
No,
you got to practice. Oh, you got to work. Loser. So you can be there, and I can pretend.
Yeah, but change the time. It was supposed to be in the morning, and they changed it to night. I'm not happy.
Yes, if anything, Mikey Williams is more of a Javaris Crinton. Oh, I would take Javaris Crinton. Oh no, although he's in jail for life, isn't he?
Is he?
He did something really bad. Yeah. Any chance that Arenas changes his mind and comes to Arizona? No, because they didn't want Arenas. That's
the rest of his life. What did he do?
I think he killed somebody.
Yeah, but other than that, what did he do?
Well, I mean, he's not free. I don't know what else you're going to do.
No. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, wasn't it like gang stuff?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No, he's going to be out soon.
When's he getting out?
He's out. He got out last year.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap. So they basically,
wow.
Someone robbed him. He tried to kill the person that robbed him. He killed a mother of 4 instead. And somehow he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter, was sentenced to 23 years, somehow made a deal, and it was reduced to 10 and got out of jail last year.
Why was he in jail at all? Sounds inadvertent.
It's just an inadvertent murder.
Well, I mean, if somebody robs you, you shoot them.
No. Someone robbed him, and he was getting back at them.
Oh, yeah. So
he accidentally shot the woman.
Tripping on them then? Oh, yeah. Javaris Crinton. Also, Nathan Gates, you're much smarter than me, but you're not smarter than me on this one. Andre Iguodala wasn't here as junior and senior year.
He didn't have a junior and senior year.
But, I mean, it probably would have, though, in all fairness.
We knew it. I'll never forget Iggy on the cell phone in the tunnel.
Yeah. That was funny. I can always tell, you guys are going to like this. And I'm Nathan, this has nothing to do with you. I can always tell an Arizona casual, how about that? When they say that Iggy was one of their favorite players at the U of A. No, he wasn't. Lute Olson basically told him to leave. Literally told him to leave.
Well, he was not very liked in his time at Arizona.
He just wasn't. Hassan was far more liked until Hassan's senior year, and then that thing went off.
Hassan went from everyone loves him to the senior year. Get this dude out of here.
Did I ever tell you when the time when Hassan Adams wanted to like slap me? Did I ever tell you about this when I was at O'Malley's? Because I was still in college at the time. Yeah. So he was a senior, and I was like a sophomore or something like that. He's a couple years older than me, and he was telling everybody, and he was telling everybody there. He said that he's playing in the MNBA, and then I said, "No, you're not." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm with the Clippers," and I was like, "No, you're not." And then so like people are like, "Hey, I thought you said you're in the NBA." So he's like, "Well, no, I've got. I'm going to start working out with them later." I actually felt like a jerk. I was only like 21 at the time, so I give myself a little bit of a pass. But it was Hassan. Mess with the paw, you get the glove. You know the drill around here. Hey, fun fact. What is Hassan Adams' middle name?
L.
No, Odawale.
Yeah, same thing.
Odawale is a really cool name. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Aaron. Boring.
Yeah. Boring. Hey, it's funny. I got an Illinois guy DM me probably like about a month ago, and he said, whatever your middle name is, I'm sure sucks. And I'm like, you don't know that. And my mom likes it. So I think I responded with, I said, my mom liked it. So, or Michael Lorenzo Luke. That sounds great. What do you think about that name, Lorenzo Luke?
I like Lorenzo Luke. I'm arguing with our girl, Mary Hansen.
Oh gosh. Oh, I can't wait to post this on the Facebook page. This is going to be good because it's 35 minutes of pure. And you know what? We're not going to even talk we're not going to even talk men's basketball on this. We're going to keep it all women's basketball on here. All right. Tomorrow we got the show at 10:30. Sheer, where can they find you? This was great work, everybody in here, breaking down everything you need to know.
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop podcast with Shelby. We're going to do a quick episode tonight to discuss this hire. And I'm in the streets, Mike. I'm in the streets covering women's basketball for the
I've been putting this out there left and right. The one-stop shop for all things Arizona women's basketball, Wildcat Authority, Jason Shear.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, let's see here. Daniel, thanks for saying that. What did we say? I don't know. Anyways, either way. All right. We're going to be back tomorrow at 10:30. A lot more going on. You guys are fantastic. We appreciate all of you. By the way, Javier is on Twitter. He tweeted at me. He created an account just to be able to get him on the show. Javier, we are going to have you on after Mr. Tyler Warden. It's a promise. And my promise is my bond. We all know this. All right.
Word is bond, dog. Word is bond.
Yeah, word is bond, homie. Yeah, word to your mother. Okay. Very good. All right. Now, for Jason Shear, for Cody, I still don't know why I Venmo'd you, but I Venmo'd you earlier.
I get it. I know why.
It was something about like
Shelby bought the domain name for the podcast, and it was $25 to do.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking, I'm like, what does this mean? But I'm like, it sounds important. So I'm like, here you go. Look at Mike Luke just raining money, making it rain, $25. All right, Shear. We will be back with you guys tomorrow. TTFN, you've been listening to the AZ12 podcast.